Transformations. Transformations are how something moves. There's three different ways we talk about shapes moving. We're going to use the R to show the three different ways. The first way is called a slide, or a translation. And a slide is just sliding to the side, sliding up and down, sliding somewhere. If something slides, notice it still looks exactly the same. It still has the top where the top was, the bottom where the bottom was. It just moves to a different place. That's a slide, or a translation. If we are going to turn or rotate something, we would do it around a point. Let's make a point right here. Clock hands are a good example of rotations. In the middle there's a point and they turn around the point. So if I'm going to turn my R, or rotate my R, I'm going to have it right here on the point, and it's going to turn clockwise, like a clock does, like the hands on a clock. It can turn 180 degrees, that means halfway around. It's just turned 360 degrees, about 90 degrees. There's an R rotated 90 degrees. Now, let's take a look at what makes it look different when it's rotated. Remember when I translated it or made it slide, it still stood upright like the R that we know. However, once it begins to rotate, it actually does not stay upright. If it's rotated 180 degrees, it's completely upside down. If I was going to rotate it counterclockwise, that would mean the opposite of how a clock rotates, so it would rotate this way. This is 90 degrees counterclockwise, 180 degrees counterclockwise. Notice 180 degrees clockwise looks like an upside down R, and 180 degrees counterclockwise looks like the same upside down R. However, 90 degrees counterclockwise and 90 degrees clockwise look very different from each other. So you need to pay attention whether it's clockwise or counterclockwise. If it's not stated whether it's clockwise or counterclockwise, you can assume it's clockwise, because that's the way people naturally do it, the same way that a clock would go. Alright, now, if we have a reflection, or a flip as it's sometimes called, it's going to flip or reflect over a line. Pretend this is you looking in the mirror. What you see is actually the opposite of what it actually is. Notice when I flipped or reflected my R, it's upside down, just like it was when I rotated it, but take a look. You see the back side of it now. That's how you know that it has flipped and not rotated. Rotated